Hold on. I know there's like a hashtag healer strike somewhere. There you go. This post was over on the main subreddit, and I've been watching it on the forum, so it feels something worth bringing it up. Okay. Let's see what this is. Personally, I can't blame them for a moment so much for the fun of healing banks on things going wrong, people not knowing what to do, etc. Instead of anything a part of healer kits. But the sheer amount of self-sustain added to tanks over the past two expansions, and now DPS kits as much as monks, wins, answer, second wind buffs, means we're going to be significantly less of that, and we've already seen this in action thanks to Xeno's video on him, and 3 DPS doing the first dungeon really. Really sloppy and still easily beaten. I mean, dungeons are not really the fucking good fucking, way to grasp. Like, you have a lot of players... Xeno and other fucking high-end raiders clear the dungeon? Cool, man. I feel like that's not a standard that you're supposed to generalize around. Or even tanks currently soloing dungeons fights for 20 minutes because they can. Yes, yeah, that is true. Healer kits need way more to do than just having a billion healing options that don't get used outside of the hardest content. I kind of agree on this. We do need more tools, like utility, similar to Expedient or something like that. It's like they definitely should need more utility, because otherwise it's very boring. At some point, it just becomes very boring to play healers. I agree on that point. You'll have a lot to say. Genuinely quite glad to see it. Okay, let's see what this fucking healing strike is. FFXIV healer strike, as have been discussed in this thread. It's a whole... Dontrell's Mediator dungeon was already cleared without healers. Not a fan of this guy in particular, but I think it's pretty sad we're still here in the same boat again. Guess the healers aren't going to have any engagement outside of ultimate raids again. Is that the problem? Because tanks can actually do something?
Yo, hey, what's up, guys? I want to talk about the dungeon.
Oh, so, yeah, I remember this. Xeno, and 3 DPS cleared the dungeon. With the red mage, mind you. But, even without the red mage, they would have cleared it anyway. You also need to keep in mind, these are, people that got into the media. Because, who do you, hold on. Does he talk who is...
Yo, hey, what's up?
Let me see who is in the party, because if he's gonna say he soloed this dungeon with Zeppelin in his fucking party, let's be honest, it's probably not Cole or Zeppelin in this party, right? It's high-end raiders. So let's see.
I want to talk about the dungeon. The dungeon was pretty fun. It had a couple interesting bosses. So, Media Tour, we don't need no healer. Okay, I'm on Warrior. Let me tell you something about Warrior. Nuclear explosions, bald, volcano, beard, insane gameplay, okay? Now we're about to do this dungeon. We just go in, man mode, no healer. This is Todd, Whoops, and Arthur's. So
Todd, Whoops, and Arthur's are in his party. 2 world racers. Todd is chilling right now, but he's also a high-end raider, and he's cleared fucking a lot of content. And fucking rank 1, well, previously rank 1, rank something, whatever the fuck now, Warrior... Xeno. Is this seriously what we're gonna be literally having an argument about? This is not a problem specifically with the jobs. Let's be honest. We know that jobs have a lot of sustain. I talked about myself soloing dungeons as a paladin. Let's be honest. Healers still have enough to do, and most healers are still gonna optimize damage in dungeons anyway. It's I get it, you want to heal. You can still heal, you can still make this very comfortable. But it's where else do you need tools? Because all these tools that are being designed for healers are very specific. To be fair, I'm not demeaning, if you're feeling more irrelevant as a healer, it's your feelings are valid, I respect that. I just don't feel like you need a fucking strike because the tanks are finally eating good. Because these are high-end raiders. If a worse tank is going to be in the dungeon, they're not going to be any good. A Dark Knight is not going to have that much sustain. A Gunbreaker is not going to have that much sustain. Sure, they got a Roar, they can spam 1-2 to get some, potency healing, but they're not going to survive as long as a fucking Warrior. There's a reason there are particular prog good tanks and some particular tanks are more better at damage, but not as much as sustaining themselves. I don't know. I feel like this argument is not very like valid, but let's hear them out. Maybe I'll change my opinion. Who knows? Enhanced encounter design means is already spectacular failure. I mean, like people are very drastic to immediately throw this out, aren't they? I wonder if they all got long COVID at their office. What the fuck? Okay. Restores own HP. Pada-pa-pa. Earth rumination. Increases. This is a cringe skill. You didn't even need to bring that in. This is kind of mid. Restores HP. Pa-pa-pa. Can't wait to cast Suspected Benefic once every 15 seconds and spam Malefic as filler for another expansion. I mean, look, if you're in a party that... Wait, hold on. Suspected Benefic? Is this your banner here? Stop casting Cure? Oh my god, what the fuck is this? One to cast Cure free anyway for a laugh? We have a tool for this called Afflatus. Okay. I don't know. It's like, I feel like there people are overreacting. Because, like, we've seen people solo heal top. We've seen people solo heal T, for example. Actually, no, T was done without healers, actually. Yeah, they had, I think it was actually one tank and no healers that was done in T. So it's like, these are like very selective groups, and I get it, this is a dungeon. And a good player will be able to solo this, but like, let's not fucking kid ourselves. Something hits them with the doom, they need healing. You got your need there. You can still contribute more than these fucking tanks. Your contribution is gonna come faster than a tank's contribution. But, I don't know. Okay, I would like to make this the official thread for those in support of Healer Strike as a collective voice to the dev team to express the dissatisfaction with the continued direction the game has gone concerning healer gameplay, and what is an arrived consensus that has deemed to be negligence towards the role, as well as the players who made it. I don't believe it's negligence, but I don't think... I think they're leading the healers towards a specific role, but I don't believe the word negligence is like appropriate here. I would like to note that this thread is not to attack or in any way intended to be offensive towards any members of the dev team, director, producer, Naoki Yoshida, Square Enix, or any of its affiliates. The purpose of the Healer Strike and this thread is to garner support for necessary changes and adjustments to be made in order once again validate its place in content that requires group and an equal contributed effort among all members of the group in order to facilitate clears within Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, to facilitate clears. In the previous post, people are even said it, oh, I guess healers are only gonna be useful in like ultimate content. People are not gonna be soloing, without a healer, savage content, or extreme. It's like you still need them. But people are making a big adjustment, like big presumptions from just a dungeon run. I feel like this is a lot to kind of like a big overreaction. Please use this thread to voice your concerns, express your feelings in a constructive manner, point out issues, make suggestions, and to add your name to those who will be striking. The strike entails that the player will not be participating in group content as any of the 4 available jobs to the healer role. Huh? Not be participating in group content as any of the 4 available jobs to the healer role. It is understandable that there are likely active statics that are still working on Endwalker content and healer mains in general who will like to finish out the current expansions. In fairness, I would like to give those healers who wish to participate in grace period before the strike is official. Is this essentially just asking healers to just not participate in group content? Please provide your feedback as to the conditions to end the strike and the date it should begin. I am thinking the strike will be officially underway when Dawn Trail launches on Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. I appreciate your time, fellow adventurers. Let our voices and our hearts be heard. I mean, I understand doing an AoE heal and shield now and then in dungeons is boring, but if healers want to just heal, they should go do M+ and WoW. I mean, you can't really... You can't really tell them to go play another game. Don't play the game you love. But at this point, this is what they're doing themselves. It's like, we're just not gonna play the game we like. I don't know if they're gonna keep staying subscribed, but petition for Jimin Allure and Siren manifesto. Self-sustained and healing abilities given to other roles. The choice and direction to is an approachable. I mean, give them fucking cooldowns. They kind of need them. Let's be honest. Oh, because like the more tools they'll have, the more encouraged they will be to fucking participate. Because like, do you know how little people use Bloodbath, and you think they're gonna be using these skills to help group content? Oversimplified DPS rotation. I agree on this one. I would like something a bit more fun, something a bit more, fun to optimize. But we also know that the moment anything done for this, it's gonna be just people griefing groups because, oh, sorry, I killed the group because I was reapplying my second dot. Some shit like that. Every job in 14 has a filler GCD skill that they press when there are no other requirements. No role in the game pushes the skill more than healer. Not by a long shot. Our offensive capability should still feel dynamic and rewarding. Yes, we're healers, but we are also casters. I mean, you got something happening. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree that I wish our DPS rotation would at least like provide particular benefits. Or yeah, it's like healing rotation could do a bit of damage, but that damage rotation should also provide benefits to balance out like the lack of, pressing the healing buttons instead of the DPS buttons. Homogenization of healer jobs. Are we being homogenized? God damn that fucking word. There is no individuality across the jobs in the healer role to give them a sense of identity. Surfism, mode change in Angelic opposed to Fae. What? Wait, no, this I do not agree. I do not agree with this, like, not one fucking bit. The healers are very fucking different in Dawn Trail. Sure, they have similar cooldowns because the fights are gonna be, throwing the same fucking mechanic. They shouldn't all have a weird, different way of solving a fucking mechanic. So some similarities are required because the jobs are built also around raid fights, not just, individuality and having fun. But like right now in Dawn Trail, healers are in a really fucking good spot. Well, probably not all of them. Some of them got the short end of the stick in terms of new toys. But like healers are in a very good fucking spot right now, individuality wise. Like they all have different sets of tools, and they also have tools similar to the other ones. I don't agree with this. Homogenization, I don't agree. Excessive OGCD heals. These are not only abundant, but exceptionally powerful. This, in addition to self-sustain on other roles, reduces the dynamic of healing comrades. What does this mean? Hold on. So me having OGCDs, in addition to self-sustain on other roles, reduces the dynamic of healing comrades. Do people understand that all of these changes are happening in Dawn Trail? Dawn Trail is probably gonna, like, there's a reason they're giving us all these fucking tools, because some shit is gonna hit so hard it's gonna hurt. And it's gonna actually encourage people to use their fucking tools. They did talk about making raiding more hard. They did talk about this. There's a reason all these people are getting all these tools, because healers have the ability to carry, but there's just two of you. There's just two of us in a raid. It's like you shouldn't put so much specific responsibility on the healers alone, especially in a expansion that is claimed to be there to improve and make raiding content harder. Because if it's gonna be harder, you're gonna be thankful that some of these bozos that didn't use Bloodbath before actually have extra tools. Lack of threat level in nearly all forms of content. Like, what? Healers should feel like they have a place in all forms of content. I mean, they do. Have you queued up for anything? There's a reason healers and healers will get instant queue for a reason. It is understandable that difficulty can't be so great as to bar progression of story-based content. However, innovative means should still be employed to make greater full use of abilities. Are there like examples to this, or this is just like, I don't know. Join the resistance. There's a Discord for this? A summary of healers' issues. Okay. Oh my fucking god. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're getting to the bottom of this right now. Hold on. I'm just here to add my name. I've long since said my piece. I'm tired of my feedback being ignored. I'm not touching healer for Duntrail or in any content except maybe trusts. Yeah, okay. Same feedback always been ignored. I already removed auto payment and I'm going to let my house just expire. Some poor DPS can have the plot because they're going to need something to do with the queue time. I support the idea. Man, I just finished leveling all the healers to 90 for Duntrail. Oh well, at least I leveled the tanks too. Hashtag healer streak. On my part, I've not been happy with this. I get like a lot of people are there and happy. While I fully support this, I've come to realize it's pointless, and that's not because of lack of feedback from us or lack of visibility in our feedback or anything of that effect. It is simply the fact that healer mains are the only people in the game who even want healers to exist in the game. Ask a DPS, ask a tank, ask anyone who doesn't have a strong opinion on healers. Like, I want healers to exist, but people don't realize the abilities we have. This is obviously me speaking to a forum right now that's like, obviously they're all in favor of like feedback being heard. But I don't know. It's like, again, like people are obviously people were unhappy before when we didn't have a lot of like DPS rotation, anything to make it interesting. A lot of people were unhappy that the job of a healer becomes very boring as soon as you start doing clears, because you just press a certain button at a certain time and you keep doing DPS. But like people need to understand that DPS and tanks do the same thing. They do the same rotation and then press a certain cooldown at a certain time. But I don't know. It's like there's a lot of nuance to this conversation, but like so far, like I'm scrolling down. MP management largely doesn't exist. It does. I mean, yeah, you just use lucid dreaming on cooldown. H. One has a TPS to dying because they don't ask. I mean, obviously, like, their opinions are valid. Like, if there's... Actually, let's go to the last. How many pages are there? There's 96 pages of people airing out their grievances right now. I'm most impartial to the movement, but I wish you all well for the changes you want to... Why so antagonistic? Lol, I'm actually amused. This is still ongoing. Go and strike. You pretty expendable, and we got healers everywhere. I mean, he's not wrong. It's like... Outside of this, it's like, sure, this is good. This is going to be content for a while, but like, just complaining about this is not going to change anything. Healers are still going to be playing because they enjoy healing. I know healers that are happy with what's happening because they just like healing. They're not going to be DPSing. They just like healing. They're not optimizing their, presence of mind, damage or what. Sorry, uptime or whatever. Just remember, negative posts still bump the threat. It's pretty funny how active this thread is, how much they say it's pointless. I mean, really close to 1,000 posts. Bonkers, in my opinion. Like, I obviously, I hope these people, like, affect the design of healers in some way. The fact that there is a fucking movement that is asking for a fucking strike because we're tired of asking for some upgrades to healers. But you also need to understand how good some of the healers are eating in Dawntrail right now. Like, this whole strike is coming from the fact that some other jobs got more tools. So far. That was like the first thing they brought up, because the other jobs got some self-healing tools. Now, self-healing, by the way, it's like, on a lot of those jobs, the potency is minuscule. But I guess, it's a problem. Let's see, the summary of healer issues and Walker updated. I'll still go back to the Reddit. I'm still curious what they're gonna say there. Added number 10, edits, lack of engaging gameplay from constant glare broil, so you want a better... There's no skill ceiling or depth. I mean, keeping your fucking team alive is kind of a skill ceiling, but it's I'm guessing due to removal of crowd control, no GCD utility. I guess people want a better kind of DPS rotation. even less better. The dev stated they removed attacking spells to make healers focus on healing at Shadowbringers launch and 2 perfect summon. Solution: restore and add damage buttons that were removed in Shadowbringers and Stormblood. Return Air 3 and add a water attack to round out the elements of White Mage. Also add Seraph Strike and make it upgrade. No, that's no. Return Miasma 2, Shadow Flare, and Bane to Scholar. No. Because right now Scholar is an okay plus because of the amount of tools we got. You want them to have all of these fucking tools back? I know what these are. You can double dot, spread that shit to add all that. I know, but we're gonna lose shit because we just don't have enough buttons. We have already we don't have enough fucking buttons like on our keyboards just for all these spells. And you want a rotation out of this. I get it, keeping up dots. I guess that's fun, but it's like eh. Return Stella as an attack with % chance after casting Malefic or Gravity for Astro, if possible more attacks. Add another single attack, target attack, and an AoE dot to Sage. They got this though? This is what they got. Wait, hold on. They literally got this already. Why is this in this list? Am I bugging? No, they got they got a single target attack with a fall off in AoE, and they got an AoE dot. This is what they got. Is this when did this come out? Hold on. This came out in 2020. Okay. Okay, so they did listen to this list. Okay. Okay, hold on. I didn't realize how old this list is, so I'm guessing it's this is specifically for Endwalker. I'm guessing I don't know. Do I want to go through this list because it's Endwalker? Is there going to be a list that they're going to bring out specifically for Dawntrail? Because a lot of these changes that I'm just reading the first thing, and I realize some of these changes have happened, and some of these changes are not exactly feasible with Dawntrail. You're asking a lot right now. Let's check the Reddit. I respect the effort. I doubt it will do anything in-game, but it can gain a lot of traction through social media to the point where big content creators talk about it, leading to Square Enix having less excuses ignoring it. The main problem I see with the forum post is that it needs to have explanations for why healer mains are upset. I agree with that. What changes they want to make. See, that is something I see on a lot of these videos where people complain. Offer examples. Think through the examples. Offer them. And again, this all came from a dungeon. If you want dungeons to rely on healers more, offer examples in the dungeon environment. Actually, extreme trials already have need of healers. But if you're specifically going to be upset about the dungeon part because other jobs have more tools now, offer examples. That's what you need to. Offer examples. Otherwise, just saying, I'm unhappy because this is boring, and you're just going to repeat the same fucking buzzwords that have been repeated for the past few years. It's just not going to do anything. Always offer examples. Examples. And maybe it won't lead to any change, but awareness how much people are upset with healer design, are invested in this, and care about it. I do agree. People have been upset with a lot of healer design parts in Endwalker. I mainly say this just because I hung out and edited for some people who are from very high-end raid and used to World Race. They were very unhappy when they heard even just the fact to the change to the G-City casting being from 2.5 to 1.5 made some of them very unhappy. But it is what it is. The balance between healing and DPS has been disrupted for a long time. Sure. Before healing involved the balance of casted spells, mitigation, utility, and modest, yet fulfilling DPS. When? Scholar had that in Storeblood, kinda. What about the rest of them? I'm kinda just drawing a blank on that. Getting more and more powerful free healing has also running. Again, this just brings up issues. Yeah, here I get it. It's the list of problems, but it's DPS gameplay we have is boring. But it's the same point as here though. Healers do not DPS do not need DPS kits as robust as actual jobs, but reducing to gameplay defined largely by spamming a single button attacks is miserable, considering that even in savage content, many healers will still cast their glare, their broil, etc. But this actually adds the higher the damage you spam. Okay. It's largely non-existent, sure. Other than race, a GCD MP refresh, for example, is not ideal at cast at the... Okay, other jobs have gotten such powerful forms of utility that in normal content especially, it's faster to run without a healer. And many people are already doing this with their roulettes. What's the point of bringing a healer of low DPS? I'm not hearing solutions, motherfuckers. Maybe the lack of feedback can be seen as a cultural thing. It's rather likely that Square Enix only reads the Japanese forums properly and don't know how local GP players are. Not true. They are paying attention to a lot of the English content creators and forums as well. Because a lot of the issues that were brought up on an A side during top and during PNS were very majorly hurt, specifically from the Western side, rather than the JP. JP, actually, I could be wrong on this. Don't take my word for this, but I'm trying to kind of call back on it. I'm not remembering JP like complaining about a lot of this stuff. They literally made an important character of the last story arc a mage in full plate armor. I mean, sure, I guess, if you say so. A lot of them are just tired. None of them wants to take the rotation diff post only to hear static in the background. Yoshi P hears what he chooses to hear. He doesn't have difficulty understanding. People need to understand that Yoshi P isn't there scanning entire fucking social media. Like, this is not me defending Yoshi P, but people immediately just go for Yoshi P. This is the entire dev team. There are people who literally watch videos, people who read the forums, who read social media. It's not Yoshi P. Yoshi P is busy. He's on the board of directors. He's the financial fucking officer. He's responsible for several fucking IPs right now. Not just Final Fantasy 14. He is like, because for Yoshi P is it doesn't matter if he's the face of the game. This shit needs to be brought to him. He's the person that greenlights this shit. He has ideas, but he greenlights this shit. We need to be loud so their fucking, social media team and, community managers, those fucking people hear us. All these like community events on Twitch, you bring that up there. They have community. These people need to bring these tools, but people need to understand how big of like a social media sweep is and at what speed fucking it moves. Right now, people they're like focusing on maybe like they're looking at a lot of fucking information. They have 3 weeks to release Dawn Trail. I don't think they're gonna delay it. God, I hope they won't delay it again. But it's like a lot of people are unhappy about a lot of jobs. Not just the healers. A lot of people are unhappy about their jobs. You guys are like, we might be complaining about like again, I want you people to understand, I'm a healer main. I am on your side. They give us more yummy tools to use and make our jobs more fun. Yum, yum, yum. I'm right there with you, next to you, eating that cake. But I feel like the argumentation, I agree with you guys that changes need to happen, but the way this shit is being argumented towards them and the way it's being presented, we're not gonna get anything. They might tell us that something is gonna be reworked, but that shit is gonna be reworked by like 6.3 or even 8.0. Sorry, not 6.3, 7.3 or 8.80. Just the way we're argumenting this. Because I'm looking through all these posts and there's like no fucking particular example how to improve this. Sketch something up, draw something up, plan something out. Otherwise, just saying, healer, not fun. It's not satisfying. It's fine, play DPS. Because they have the healing tools that you liked before, you wanted a more complex DPS rotation. There you go, play DPS. They got the same tools now. Again, I agree with these people, but it's like some of them are just... They're just being loud without a particular plan how to be loud. This strike is not going to achieve anything, let's be honest. Who are we kidding? It's not going to achieve anything. Because there are healers who are not even aware of this is happening. I wasn't aware of this happening until I just saw fucking a Reddit page. I thought the name was interesting, and then I find out there's a whole fucking forum post. It's just being loud, honestly. And I look through the post, and there's not enough examples or like specific feedback. Just saying the DPS is bad, the tools aren't being used in dungeons. It's examples, motherfucker. But yeah, plus the amount of information that's being like poured. Like, let's say there is someone who is actually bringing like good examples of how to fix this. He's just gonna be drowned out by all of this. Like, even in Ultimates, your existence isn't justified. I've done DSR as a shield and pure heal at 90% of the time. For done, it's even more ridiculous. It's just people complaining. It's like, anything this, I believe tanks should have a level of self-sustain. Okay. It's just thoughts in the matter. It's like, again, people aren't bringing up examples how to fix this. It's like, unless people bring up particular systems they want to present to the team, like, hey, can we have this? And if a lot of people support this, they will hear this and they will think, okay, so this is what people like and people would prefer this. Let's keep this in mind. Let's keep this at the back of our heads. You know? That's how you do the shit. They're devs. They're not social medias. Sorry, social media representatives. It's like, it's hard to tell how to do this specifically correctly, but like, I support this, but it's just, I don't support the way it's being done right now, and that's it. Oh yeah, Cole has a fucking video on the strike as well. Might as well hear him out.